What do you mean? All right, that's the intro, Dave.
Flick Network. We watch movies. We talk movies. Your online movie friends. The Flick Network.
I don't know what that means either, Jeff. Why would you not eat, Shy? It's 9:30.
I know, but I just realized that I didn't eat dinner. I don't know.
I'm concerned.
Listen, Shy, I forget to eat too. It's okay.
There's definitely food, so I'm not sure why I didn't eat, but whatever.
So, did anybody else watch this movie in Russian?
Excuse?
What? I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Why would you do that?
Just to switch it up a little bit.
Okay, well.
You know what makes it a grumpy old man sound even grumpier? If he's voiced
I
by a
guess
Russian.
Or maybe like German.
Jeez.
9, Russell, 9.
Okay. I can't. I honestly cannot. Okay.
Guys, so we were here to watch a bucket list movie with 100 bucket list movies on our poster of bucket list movies. That's what we do here almost every single week, except when Dave doesn't post the episodes because he's really good at not doing that. Up. We watched Up this week. Pixar's Disney's Up.
We did. we did, and I cannot wait to talk about it. But I feel like everyone already knows how I feel, so I want you guys to go first.
I'm gonna start changing mine because everybody says when they list these movies, they say Disney Pixar's Up. I'm gonna start saying Pixar's Disney's Up.
Okay.
Because it makes more sense because it's a Pixar movie. It's just,
I'm not gonna argue with you. Everyone already calls them Pixar's movies.
Yeah,
well, Pixar. Up was created by Pixar, so Pixar's Up, and Pixar is owned by Disney, so it's Disney's Pixar's Up.
Yeah,
Jeff, we know why it's like that. No one's
except for the people who call Frozen a Pixar movie. And I've had
those people are confused.
Yes, I've had that conversation too many times though. So I'm gonna start saying Pixar.
They're like, but it's 3D animated and it's a Disney movie, so it's Pixar, right? And you're like, no.
No.
Who are you encountering that's like this?
Lots.
I mean, that's got to be the thought process for the people who think it's a Pixar movie, because otherwise, how could you possibly get to that conclusion?
I mean, I've literally had the conversation that Shrek is not a Disney movie. Like God,
I've also had that conversation.
And
I hate Disney would have ever made anything like Shrek.
No, I think
it's the antithesis. It's the opposite of a Disney movie. That's its entire point.
You know how I know if it's a Pixar movie or not? Is if the human beings are actually good-looking human beings. If it's a good-looking human being, definitely not by Pixar.
That's funny. They always make the humans ugly.
Wasn't that thing in like Toy Story 2 or 3 to where they were struggling making Andy, and they decided that if they couldn't make a good-looking Andy or Andy's mom, they just weren't going to put them in the movie?
Mm-hmm. They were going to shoot them from like the shoulders down or whatever.
Well, it's the same reason that you only see Andy and Sid in the original Toy Stories. They couldn't make humans, especially in that era of time. But this movie looks really good. That's about all I can say about it.
Yeah, except Walter's a fucking square.
Oh my God. Okay, one at a time. Go.
Because Walter is a square. Yeah, there, you can cut out the other one, Dave.
I won't. I will have forgotten by the time I get to editing this episode. And I won't listen to the whole thing, Jeff. So it's in there.
They literally took the chair that the guy sits on and made his face out of that.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely very square.
Yeah.
He's a box. He's a little box man.
Okay, so we watched Up.
We did.
And his name is Walt. What did you call him? You called him Walter. His name is Carl?
His name's Carl. What? How is Walter close to Carl?
I literally just watched this movie too. Who in this movie calls him by his first name?
One person, one time, because I was actually taking notes.
Okay, see? And I still understand how Bunce knew his last name. Did you say Ferguson?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Carl
Fredrickson. There you go.
Wow, guys.
I don't know.
Did we watch
I just call him Carl the whole time, so I forgot his last name.
And Russell's name is Small Mailman.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, before I hear your opinions in full in complete sentences, Dave, I would like to know if you decided to watch this movie with audio description.
I did not. Although I think it might have been really fun.
Okay, I'm disappointed.
Did you watch it with AD?
I watch everything with AD now,
Okay.
even if I don't think I need it. I do it anyway.
Okay.
Which this is a movie that I probably would have been like, I don't need it for that, but I just do it anyway.
Is there?
Because you never know what you're gonna miss.
Is there good stuff? Is there good?
Yes, it's so good.
Okay. I probably.
No, we're recording.
In reality, I'm probably missing stuff.
It's not a Flick Network show until
It's not anything with Shy on it unless Joe interrupts.
No, exactly. That's how it goes.
Even when she's on the Snack Network, Joe has to make an appearance. It's all right. So here's.
Yes.
I did not watch it with AD. I feel like I should have. I'm not going to watch it again because honestly, I don't like.
I should have texted you.
I don't like this movie.
What, Dave?
I don't like it.
That's fine. I want to hear your. I just want to hear everyone's opinions.
I watched this movie. This is the second time I ever watched this movie.
Okay.
Way better than I liked it the first time I watched it.
Every time I watch it, I like it less.
This is a top tier Pixar movie, in my opinion.
I strongly disagree with that statement, and that's really the reason I say I dislike it. It's not that I think it's a bad movie. I think it's actually a very fun movie, and if anything, it's pretty good. But it's nowhere near the top tier of Pixar. Not even close. It is not.
What's wrong with this movie?
Spoiler, it doesn't belong on this poster. The dogs are stupid. The plot is nonsensical. The bird is ridiculous. Everything that happens after the storm and the house crashes is complete nonsense.
I will agree with you. The best thing of this movie is the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I feel like I'm watching a kid write a story where they go, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. That's how I feel the whole time.
But the bird makes sense.
I've seen it multiple times. I understand that they set up the bird.
They set up the dogs too.
Yeah, I know they did.
Okay.
But the plot is just nonsense. That guy is 100. We're talking like I can accept the floating house. Okay, I can get.
You're talking. Yeah. But you're talking about a guy who's perfected dogs talking. You don't think he's found a way to keep himself from not dying?
I just think it's
I will agree with you. The most unrealistic part of this movie are how strong the old people are and how they're able to do everything.
And yet all the time they're still going really slow with canes and shit at random times.
The only old person that wasn't strong in this movie is Ellie.
Yeah. Which is also weird, and when you start saying it like that, I don't think this is a bad movie. I just don't think it's top tier Pixar. I think when we look at the caliber of everything Pixar has ever done, Up is so low. It like the first until the house takes off, I'm 100% on board. Okay, I love everything before that. I even like everything until the point where the house crashes because of the storm. After that, when we're just like wandering through the jungle and find his childhood hero that probably should be dead because Carl's 78 years old. Okay? And he was 9 years old when he saw the film. And that dude was...
Yeah, so that dude's probably 90 years old. 90 years old, yeah. 95.
You're
as old as the Queen is.
Yeah.
Was.
Yeah, and the Queen was definitely getting around real great. My point.
I know what you mean.
I just don't get it. Like I just don't understand why any of it matters. That he starts like shooting. There's a plane fight that's literally in there just to make a Star Wars joke. It's
what's a Star Wars joke?
All the dogs in the planes, they're doing the Star Wars like attacking the Death Star moment.
What?
Do you not know?
What do you mean?
You didn't realize this?
They're attacking a house.
Yeah. And they do the ringleader, the whole like all the dialogue is just a Star Wars joke. The camera angles,
Yeah.
all of it is a Star
That's
Wars.
a big trope now.
Yeah, but the dogs don't make any sense. The dumb dog voice is just a kid joke. The bad guy has every motive in the world to be bad, and yet he's shooting at kids and like throwing them out of a blimp. And like that's what makes him evil, not that he misunderstood the fact that Carl doesn't actually want this bird for things. And the only reason that Carl needs to save this bird is because he swore over his heart to a little kid who hijacked and stowed away under his porch while he floated away. Like, this movie is just nonsense. They're gone for days, and like Russell's mom doesn't give a crap. And I understand that part of this plot is
Russell's mom. It was Russell's dad who wasn't in the picture that much at all.
Right. And so because Russell's dad's not in the picture, Russell's mom is also just completely neglectful of this kid. I don't know.
It's implied Russell's mom is just not in the picture. Just the housekeeper or whatever is in charge of Russell, Yolanda or whatever.
I don't know.
Are you muted, Shy, on purpose?
Yes, I was listening. I need to hear all the opinions before I speak.
I think it's a gorgeous movie. I think it's one of the most heartfelt opening relationships. I think there's something about like accepting grief, and I think like the moment when he goes through the book and realizes that she was keeping track of their adventures the whole time is really sweet. I just think all the birds and like walking through the woods with the weird talking dogs is just it crosses a line into stupid instead of being like emotional to me, and I just don't like it.
So I get a lot of the aspects of it, and some of it's I think the most thing is how Muntz is still alive. But the other thing is that Fredrickson, Carl, is really strong, drags that house by himself at that age, and they're running around like he is not 78 years old.
Yeah, at other points, like he can barely walk across his living room. Like with his
he couldn't
cane.
take the steps at the beginning of the movie.
Right. So like you've established like this weird like Carl is perfectly physically fit when the story needs him to be, and when the story doesn't need him to be, he's not. And I don't know. That feels weird.
Now what about this, Dave?
Yes.
Paradise Falls. It's a magical place that has healing properties.
Okay, but now I feel like you're writing a fan theory into a movie to make it a better thing. And that's not...
No.
Welcome to all the people in Onward are actually disformed humans who crashed from a different version of the Star Cruisers from WALL-E. Like you're just adding levels of nonsense to accept what you're in for. And I just I know it's a cartoon. I get it. I can accept lots of weird cartoon rules. Just the rules of this universe are not consistent and don't make sense.
Yeah, talking cars and toys make more sense.
But see, all the cars in Cars talk. Okay? And all of them sleep in cones. And all the cars do these things that cars do. Old men can't not be able to get across their living room and then also be able to drag a house while floating on the back of a blimp while getting shot at.
Yes, I would say the best part of this movie is the relationship between Carl and Ellie and how it persists throughout the entire movie.
Right, and the rest of the movie is only in there to extend the runtime of the film to make it a really long film. Versus, I think you could have shown us.
It's Carl finding a new adventure.
I think this is a 10-minute Pixar short that got extended into a movie.
I think there's some I don't know.
Okay, so
Shai
has words.
They set up this movie. They set up the whole plot of the movie at the beginning 5 minutes, especially with Muntz.
I know they did.
So they foreshadow a lot.
But I don't think we needed any of it.
Okay, so Shy has words.
Okay.
So this movie is lovely. Is it the best Pixar movie ever? No, I don't think anyone's saying that. Literally no one.
Except Rotten Tomatoes, which it hasn't scored 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, we can compare the scores of all Pixar movies and see which one has the highest if you want.
Toy Story.
I don't have time. Okay, so then we know it's not the best one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on.
Okay.
Dave, I think you would greatly benefit from watching. My light just went down.
I saw. Again.
Happens when you buy super cheap lights, friends. No, I just rolled over the cable. I feel like you would benefit greatly from watching this with audio description because I've seen this movie like 3 times. Not that many times. I've seen it like 3 times, including this one. So twice before this.
Probably 4 times total, honestly, at this point.
So I liked this movie before I'd seen it with AD today for the first time. I thought it was a fun movie. I was like, it was ups, there was downs, you know. It was kind of silly, but like it was fun and I liked it, and that's why I watched it again. But watching it with AD made it so much better because all the little tiny things that I had missed, like the things that weave the stories together, because you're saying like there's this one story, right, with Carl and Ellie, and then it persists throughout the movie, but that's the main story. And you're saying all this foolishness is happening, and it's just kind of fucking there, right? But if you use the AD,
okay,
I believe that you will see all of the teeny tiny connections, because this movie is not about Carl and Ellie's love for each other. Like, that is a big and very important thing, but this movie is about Carl's stages of grief and him getting through it and you know, getting to the end where he can enjoy life again. I think that his quote unquote strength is a testament to that. From the beginning of the movie, he's an old decrepit fart that's about to go to a retirement home that he doesn't want to go to, right? And by the end, he's fucking running around with Russell. I think that he breathes life back into himself, and they're showing us that with his strength and his running around and his activity. So that explains that part. I didn't write the movie, but I feel like that's what they did.
Okay.
And then when I say like little connecting things, I'm talking about like all the adventurer shit, right, that he and Ellie used to do. And now this stupid kid comes up and he's in this stupid adventurer troupe. And this is shit that Carl used to care about, people going on adventures and discovering new things. And now he doesn't give 2 shits. So you see how far he has fallen from the past. And Russell is just...
I don't know if I disagree with this at all.
Russell is, in my opinion, I don't know if you remember how fucking whacked Ellie was. She was crazy.
Yeah.
Russell is like a stupid Ellie.
Yeah,
he's whacked in a different way.
I don't
but
like
he's Ellie though. He's nutso. He makes split decisions. He's adorable. Like he's her.
But that's weird.
It's not. It's not about a romantic connection. It's about him finding that love again, that like adventure and fucking life. That's what it's about. And Russell is that. This movie is so much more than stupid chocolate and giant 7-foot birds and an old man that shouldn't be alive anymore. Like, there's obviously flaws in the movie, but the details of the movie is what makes it a really great Pixar movie. Okay. And that's why I think you need to watch it with AD. Because, okay, so here's one very AD-worthy example. You have better vision than me, so you could have seen it. But I don't know. In the beginning of the movie, Ellie gives Carl a pin.
Yeah.
It's made out of a soda cap.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the movie, he gives, instead of giving the badge for helping the elderly, he gives the stupid soda cap from blah, blah years ago, which... Okay, you saw. But like that's so fucking cool. Like, isn't that not fucking cool? And like, yeah, the big moment, right, with the book and the letter at the end, and you're like, oh, that was cute. Go find a new adventure. Like, yeah, that's a great moment too. But it's also like some of the things that Carl says that like Ellie used to say, or not Carl, Russell, or like just like the energy of it. Now there is stupidity, like the dogs are ridiculous, and like the old dude probably shouldn't exist anymore. Like he should probably be dead. So yeah, there's flaws in the movie. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, but it belongs much higher than you put it, in my opinion.
And
that's all I'm saying.
We can agree to disagree about.
That's true. I'm just giving you my opinion.
No, that's fair. And I feel like you attached to this movie in the correct way that it's intended. And I think getting past some of the stupidity, I just find difficult. Like I find the persistent squirrel jokes obnoxious.
And I feel like you got to remind yourself that it's a kid's movie, because if it was too sad and about Carl's depressing journey of grief,
I know, but I don't.
It wouldn't have been a kid's movie anymore.
But I don't feel this way in other Pixar movies, and this is the way I feel in like, and this is a terrible example to compare this to. I know this, but like, I saw Secret Life of Pets. I don't know why I saw it. Okay, now I regret every no.
I was being sarcastic.
And Secret Life of Pets suffers from being entirely this stupidity. Like that's basically the entire.
Pretty much it. That's
and they have their one emotional moment, and they skip past it like it didn't happen, and then like you're like, yep, I'm in a kids movie.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like kids movie threw up all over this.
Yeah, and it feels like in Up, we allowed a bunch of those kid themes to like settle into the point where this movie feels like a kid's movie versus not feeling like most Pixar movies feel like an adult movie that's good for kids. And that's how I feel about almost every Pixar movie.
I'll tell you, the first time, when did Up come out?
Who knows? Before 2016, I guess.
I will tell you, well, yeah, of course. I will tell you, the first time I set Up, I was more leaning towards, it was 2009. Yeah. I was more leaning towards, I might not have liked it because I was stuck in the middle from being a kid and an adult. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this time watching Up, I felt so much more engaged in Carl and being married and all that happening until his like grieving process and being with like and just always thinking of Ellie, to the point that when he threw the stuff out of the house to lighten the thing, he threw everything out but placed the chairs
nicely down at the falls. And then at the end, when the house landed in the fucking spot, are you kidding me? I'm blind. I had never seen that scene before. It's just one clip of the house gently landing down on the falls, and I thought I was gonna cry.
See, that's
so stupid and cheesy, but that's
the thing. Every Pixar movie, every single one except for Cars 2 and The Good Dinosaur.
Cars 2, it's trash.
It is trash. Every single Pixar movie except for these three, meaning Up, Cars 2, and The Good Dinosaur, can make me tear up. Every single.
Dave, are you telling me that not at one point in Up would you tear up?
No.
Not during the first 5 minutes.
I've made it through that
going through the scrapbook.
I made it through that opening so many times now, and I know what it is, and it comes so quickly that it doesn't.
But it's never teared you up before.
No, it has in the past, but it doesn't now.
If you don't like this movie, why do you keep watching it?
It's on our poster, our bucket list movie poster.
But you said that as you keep watching it. How many times have you watched this movie?
I said 4. I think it's probably about 4. I saw it in theaters in 2009. I saw it probably later at some point when somebody said, you should watch Up, it's great. And then I think I watched it again for our poster viewing originally. I think it was one of the last
No, we
movies.
didn't watch it.
Well, that's when I feel like maybe it was the next movie before we were final recording. I watched it and then
You
we
were
never
just avoiding it, is what happened.
and then now I'm where I am now. And I think every time I see this movie, I like it less.
But Carl Russell, if Carl doesn't go through the grieving process, it's kind of, I take it as Muntz is the person who never got over the past.
Yeah, man.
And he becomes obsessed with the past. And
Muntz is a psycho, dude.
Yeah, he's obsessed with restoring his good thing, and he's just obsessed with his past and getting back to there. And if and if you stick that way, Carl would become, obsessive in the same way. So it's like the two different, you either become Muntz or you have to get over the process and be like Carl, to where you just go on to the new adventure. You embrace the past, you remember it always, but you always go on, move forward.
I don't disagree with you guys.
And to let you know, Dave,
yes,
the reason why Muntz was still in the movie, originally Muntz wanted to find the bird because its eggs had a magical property that's slow to aging. So the storyline was eventually scrapped, but by then it was too late in production to change the fact that he was still alive. And when Carl visited Paradise Falls.
I feel like
I love this movie.
I feel like a deleted plot line doesn't count as justifying the answer, but
it's not. Like I said, no one's saying it's the best Pixar movie. That's obviously not true. There are definitely Pixar movies that I love more. One of my favorite movies ever is another Pixar movie. So like, no one's saying that, but it's a great movie. I fucking love this movie. It's a fun time, and it's got a through line that's really like heartwarming and sweet. And the only thing that I don't really care for is how silly the dogs are, I guess. But even that, like, I remember that it's a kids movie. I disagree when you say like Pixar movies are like adult movies that are good for kids. I feel like they have always sat really well on the line.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of them scooch a little bit lower towards kids and a little bit higher towards adult, but they are really even on the line most of the time for me. This one scooches more towards kids, and that's just that. And something like, I don't know, I feel like I can't think of one that scooches more towards adults.
Inside Out.
I was gonna say Inside Out, but Inside Out is just for human beings, honestly.
Inside Out is an emotional roller coaster the entire way through, and I can't even watch it.
I fucking love that movie. Is a masterpiece.
It is.
It's an absolute masterpiece.
It deserves every bit of.
It is art.
No, I haven't watched that movie since it came out, but I remember not being okay.
That movie is.
You remember it not being
masterful.
Okay? Please explain.
I remember it being okay with it. Not, it was like I didn't go going, wow, that was a great movie.
I have watched Inside Out many a times.
Me too.
And I can't. Every time I can't handle how good it is. It's
what it does for children and for childhood in general is like, if I had this movie when I was a kid, there's no like you can't even. Kids are so lucky that movie exists, and I hope every single parent makes their kid watch that movie.
I hope that movie is required viewing in schools at some point. Like,
it needs to be.
Like literally the first day of like kid education of like what it means to grow up. Like that 5th grade class, where they kind of start talking about like things are gonna change, things like all that stuff. Like that should be the first day. Like just make them.
Man. Teaching kids emotional literacy. Even like a basic version of it that Inside Out is like life changing. Like, that's
and see, that's I don't know. I don't know if like I know that this is like the stages of grief. Like I understand what Up is. I don't know if it does it so well that I consider it like required viewing.
I mean, I haven't done like a little lineup of like, okay, the first stage is this, and then the second stage. But like, It feels like that's what's happening.
Yeah, but that's
to
what
me.
that's what it feels like versus like the metaphor of core memories. I know we've gone now to a comparison to movies.
Now we're comparing Up and Inside Out,
which is just not
which
even.
is not a battle.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
Everyone knows Inside Out is better. But I love Up.
What's your favorite Pixar movie of all time, Shy?
One of my favorite Disney movies of all time. I've never done like my favorite Pixar movie of all time, but one of my favorite Disney movies of all time happens to be a Pixar movie, and it's Finding Nemo.
Okay, I just wanted to know where we're at. I don't think even Finding Nemo is on this list.
No, I don't think it is.
And the fact that these are two stories about adventure. I mean, literally almost every Pixar movie is a story about adventure if we really get into it. But that's a whole nother thing. I just feel like Finding Nemo probably belongs on this list more.
Finding Nemo is also about grief and fear.
Yeah,
because Marlin's a fucking mess,
and it does, and it does,
a goddamn mess.
And I think it does a better job of portraying those themes, like much.
Like I said, Finding Nemo is one of my top. Like, I guess if I had to do like top 10 Disney movies, Finding Nemo would be in there for me. Up would not. No one's saying that they're like equivalent, but
I hate doing the comparison thing. Like, I hate being like, I don't like this movie because I like this movie better. Like that's a dumb argument, and that's not what I'm trying to get here. Is I think I lose what this story is trying to do by
it has too much silliness for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And as long as a little bit of Pixar movies is to subvert reality and put in fantasy.
My favorite thing about this podcast, if you're watching it video, although this is an audio primary show,
on my light
is Shy's light, but she's just doing like the J.J. Abrams lens flare thing.
I keep changing it. Yeah. It's bugging me. I'll stop.
Just the lens flares. Yeah.
But I would say out of all, like this movie, second time around, I enjoyed it way more than the first time I watched this movie.
This is the best time I've ever had watching this movie because I had the AD.
Yeah, I think what really hit it home for me is just the love Carl had for Ellie and how after 70 years, he still tried to keep care of everything he had in their life. To the mailbox, which started it all.
Yeah.
And it's a very pretty movie. It's a very, I would say, high-end fantasy movie with taking off in your house and and
the first crazy fucking batshit thing that happens. I'm cursing a lot today. Is all those balloons lifting a house out of the ground? Like, that's not a thing. Like, this movie starts off in just like a ridiculous way, and it's just one thing, and we accept it immediately because he was a balloon salesman and his cart kept flying away every 10 seconds. And
that's where he got his idea from.
That's where he got the idea from, which I didn't know before watching it with AD. So like, we accept it immediately. We're like, oh yeah, balloons lift things, that works. But it's bonkers. Like, that's bonkers. So it starts off already in this ridiculous place, you know?
And I feel like this movie does a really good job of foreshadowing most of the events happening in this movie. Or if you really pay attention to the first 10 minutes of the movie, you can already tell what some of the major plot points of the movie are.
They tell you the entire plot in the first like the theater that he's watching the movie in, where he's listening to the drama or the radio drama, the whole thing. Like, all of it tells you exactly what's going to happen the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think things like that are masterful, and like Pixar clearly understands animation in a way that no one else does, and
totally.
There's this thing that goes on in current present day that everybody says that every Pixar movie looks like Inside Out. Like, this is the thing. This is what Pixar's animation looks like, and I strongly disagree with that argument.
No.
And part of that, I think, is probably because I had to go to school and learn graphic design, and I had to animate things. But
if you have any artistic eye at all, you can see that that's not true.
And I think a lot of people are criticizing this animation without any artistic background of any kind.
What?
Yeah. and it was primarily coming around when Soul came out. Is that everybody said Soul just looked like Inside Out, and I strongly disagree.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What's
I haven't
wrong
watched
with
Soul yet.
people, dude? Oh, you should watch Soul.
Soul's good.
Soul's a good one.
So Dave, tell me what the plot point of Soul is.
What do you mean with the plot point of Soul?
Or what basic the
The
plot
synopsis.
Of
Give
Soul is.
him the synopsis.
A guy dies and
Yeah.
doesn't accept that, and also has to, in the purgatory afterlife, convince someone who doesn't believe that life is worth living that they want to live. That is the plot.
Sounds kind of wacko.
It is. When I started
So-
saying it, I was like, yeah, this sounds crazy, but that is the plot. I don't think Shai disagrees
it
with me.
sounds, and tell me how that's less out there than Up.
Also, what does his soul end up in?
Okay, see, they play that cat for a couple jokes. It's not talking dogs who are evil with squeaky voices for the sake of humor that goes on for way too long, and then they fly planes and they get distracted by squirrels constantly for no reason. The
Well,
cat.
if you have a dog, you know that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I have a dog.
That joke was for people with dogs. I know you do.
I get the joke. I hate the joke every time I see the movie. I hate it more every time I watch it. I find it less and less funny every time I see it.
But now I say squirrel every time Max does that.
Yeah,
See, that's how iconic it is.
that I get
Mhm.
that. And it's funnier when people say it in real life.
Exactly.
But it's not funny in the movie anymore.
It is
Not
funny in the
anymore.
movie.
That joke, I think
I
I
think
laughed at
it's-
it in the movie this time. I think I laughed at the squirrel joke once.
I didn't laugh once.
I think I laughed at it when
I audibly sighed
when-
every time.
You're such a grouch. You know what else too? I work with kids. I'm a teacher. I'm never gonna grow ever. I will never.
Oh, I'll never
grow
grown up.
But you're at a stage of adolescence, never growing up. I'm still 5. Sometimes. I fluctuate between the ages of 5 and 13. It's bad. I'm never growing up, but it's worse than you.
Never past 13. Sometimes
Yeah.
you revert back to being 5.
Mm-hmm. And I work with kids. Sometimes I'm literally rolling around on the ground because my kid was doing it, and it makes them laugh when I copy them. I am a child,
Yeah.
So the kid stuff,
Mhm.
even though I realize it's kid stuff, it's not for me, and yeah, it's dumb. And if I was watching anything else and it happened, I'd be like, ew, why? But in the moment, it's fun. It's just fun.
And the most fun about it is how he is able to get helium in one night.
From
Up his
what?
entire house.
So much helium.
When it was already night out.
There was so much of it. He just robbed his job. That's what he did.
100%.
He robbed the zoo. Obviously.
No, so I really liked the movie because it foreshadowed a lot and it showed, the stages of grief to go through, and it showed him finding a new adventure to move on to and a new
Yeah.
passion in life.
And
This
the
was
new
a guy
book-
who was happy with just being inside the entire time for the rest of his life.
When I turn 80 and I've lost everything, okay? When that happens to me and I rewatch this movie, I'll probably feel completely differently about it.
Never turn your back on adventure, Dave. I would say this is one of one of the best Pixar movies. Well, top. There's so many good. Pixar
See,
movies.
so many
that's
good
the
Pixar
problem,
movies.
Jeff.
It
It's
could
not
be in the top 20, maybe.
No,
yeah,
I would
sure,
say it's in the top 10.
There's so many though. I'm
It's-
scared to make that list.
It's
There's
not in
26
Monsters
Pixar
Inc. is a
movies.
Pixar movie.
It's not in my top 10. It might be. It's probably
There's
in my
26. There's only 26,
There's only 26.
and 3 of them are out. Cars 2, Dinosaur, whatever the fuck it's called.
right. So on my on the Pixar, I feel like it's literally. It's 21 on my list. You
get
see
that.
what I mean?
It's 21.
It's definitely in the top 20 for me. I don't know where I.
So
can't
out
see
of
it. It's in
26, the 5 movies you're putting below it are Cars 2, right?
Uh-huh.
What about Cars 3?
I didn't finish Cars 3. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really
Bruh.
liked the first hour of it that I watched and thought,
Bruh,
this is good so far. And then I
you
never
should
finished
finish
it.
The Good Dinosaur,
Yeah, The Good Dinosaur, Cars 2.
Brave.
Yeah, Brave. I don't like Brave.
What about Monsters University?
Monsters University is down there. I don't like that movie either.
Luca.
Okay,
watched Luca, Dick?
Luca goes one slot above Up, and I like Luca. I like Luca more than I like Up.
It's really good.
But it's
I like
Can-
Luca
can I
more than I like Up.
am I allowed to tell this story? I'm going to tell it anyway. No one's going to listen to this.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we be
Here,
scared?
I'll change names.
Okay.
Let's say that I had to go run an errand, okay, and somebody was staying at my house, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry, you got Disney Plus, Netflix. Here you go. Just watch something. I'll be right back." Okay, and I left them with an entire Disney Plus catalog that they didn't have, so they decided to watch Luca. Okay, and I hadn't watched it yet. I just didn't get to it yet. And I come into the room at the very end of the movie when he's leaving on the train. That's not a spoiler. That's just
Okay.
there's a train. There's okay. This person who I left at my house to watch this movie was bawling her eyes out. Absolutely bawling her.
So cute.
And so then I was like, what in the emotional F is happening right now? like I know this is a Pixar movie and I know
But
it's
girl.
it's emotion. Like I know it's probably a little emotional, but is it this emotional? Is this Inside Out level of like ripping your heart out?
Yeah, for real.
And then I sat down and watched the movie and I thought, I like this movie a lot, but at no point did I really want to like he's just going away to school. Like he can come back.
I definitely didn't have a whole breakdown watching that movie. I was more happy than anything.
Right, yeah, like it's a good, warm, happy feeling, if anything.
Yeah.
The whole story.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
didn't cry. But it could have been happy tears.
no, this is
You never cried happy?
I've cried happy, but I don't know. This was a whole
So snotty and gross.
Yeah.
So funny.
And so I went into that movie I think with higher expectations than necessary. I really like that movie. I don't know if
I
it's
didn't know anything about that movie aside from the fact that they said it was set in Italy. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else.
just because we're never going to get to any of these movies, and while we're talking about it, they're on their poster. They're not on the poster, meaning Turning Red is incredible. It's an incredible movie, and it does
really
not,
you liked Turning Red.
I like okay, ready?
I'm shocked.
Ready? Okay, ready? I like Turning Red, and it came out basically the same month as Encanto, and I don't like Encanto.
You don't like Encanto?
Okay,
Dave?
I gotta go.
Dave has very controversial opinions. So
I gotta go because Turning Red is bonkers.
Dude, I really liked Turning Red.
I love Turning Red.
No, listen, I loved it, but it is in.
Yeah, Dave.
But they set up the rules. The rules make sense.
It's insane, though. Like,
what rules made sense?
Okay. So she turns into this panda, and we know whatever they lock the souls in. We didn't know that the souls don't go away. We thought the souls were gone. I thought the souls were gone.
Yeah,
they were still there. Didn't know that. That could be a cool thing. The thing that gets me is, first of all, the lyrics of that song, "You Never Know I'm My Mind." Some of the lyrics, really dumb, and I couldn't get over it because they kept playing and singing the song. Also, they get into that fight, and everybody's like, okay, we gotta chant this thing. And then the fucking boy band.
No, they just had to sing with feeling. That was it.
Yeah, I know. But, like, no one invited you. It just felt so... The first time I watched it, I was like, there's a giant bear thing. It's like a Godzilla situation. And, like it was... I love the movie. So this is not me shitting on the movie.
Okay,
but this
great.
movie is insane.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
It's bonkers.
But the giant
it's way
panda...
crazier than Up.
The
okay?
giant pandas make more sense to me than the talking dogs in Up.
All right, I quit.
The talking dogs
He's a scientist who made a
a
collar that translates
it's a
the darkness.
collar.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's less
don't get it.
magical.
I don't get it. It's fucking.
What do you
science.
mean, Dave? It's just a collar that.
Because I
makes
can
them speak.
accept magic. The collars are
You can accept magic more than technology.
Yes. Magic.
As you're talking to us through a talking to us through a computer,
Listen.
through an internet line that transmits speeds at 300 megabits, a made-up number, across hundreds of miles, baby, across hundreds of miles. As you're looking at your iPhone, that gets a GPS that tells you everywhere you want to be. You can accept magic more than technology.
Oh God,
Yes.
dude. Turning red.
And it's somehow out of your grasp. It's out of your grasp, Dave, that they could make a collar that could translate dogs out of everything.
Even though we all already think that dogs understand us, we all already think that.
Oh.
Everyone who's ever met a dog thinks that.
There's a literal app I could download that I hold up my phone to other languages and it translates it right there.
It doesn't make any sense.
What doesn't make sense?
Oh God. I quit. I gotta go.
You've accepted in a movie that a radioactive spider bites a person, they turn into a spider.
Yeah, and
No,
just
it doesn't make sense that a dog. If Peter Parker invented a collar that could make a dog translate, you'd accept it.
Yeah, and this week,
No, if Tony Stark did it.
this week I went to the extended cut of Spider-Man: No Way Home, and I cried almost the entire time because it's magic and it's sad and emotional, and I can't even deal. I can't even.
I don't know. The collars are the things that make the most sense in this movie to me.
Like the craziest thing is the fact that the old dude is still alive and Kevin is like a 10-foot tall bird. Which, by the way, did you
Looks like a
guys
dog.
know? Did you guys know that I always bring every time we watch a Disney movie, I have got a freaking Disney fact. In Disney, did I say this last time when we said we were gonna watch up? I don't know. Okay, so in Animal Kingdom, there is a cast member who walks around in a giant Kevin puppet.
I did not
Now
know
this puppet is awesome. Like the wings move, the beak moves, the eyes blink, like coolest. The little neck bobs up and down just like Kevin's does. Like it's nuts. And the person inside it, their legs are Kevin's legs, and then there's all these little levers. So it's like an actual puppeteer, right? Moving this fucking thing. And it's just walking around the park with like another cast member that's not in costume. Like just hanging out.
The other cast member should be dressed up as Russell.
Well, they're dressed up as another wilderness explorer.
That's
same uniform.
That's also totally fine, so that it can be an adult.
It's fucking great. Like and you never know. It's not a scheduled thing where you can be like, oh, it's 5:00. Let's go sit down for the Kevin show. Like, no, like Kevin just exists. It's Animal Kingdom. He's just walking around. Like
that's cool. That's really cool.
It's so cool.
See, I would
where they have Pandora stuff too. Is really
I quit.
Cool.
No light for me.
So I will say, in my opinion, Dave, yeah, sure, you have to subvert your like reality and everything, but I don't think you have to subvert that reality in any more a way than in any other Pixar movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I feel like you're being dramatic because some of these movies are fucking nuts.
I love all these other movies so much more.
Like Coco.
That's fine.
Like Coco.
Oh yeah, everybody dies and then they.
I like Coco though.
I love Coco.
Yeah, because you like it, you're willing to accept all.
No, they explained it to me. I understand how it works.
How does it work then, Dave?
Magic.
So if there was
all
one
we
piece
needed
that
to
Charles Muntz said, I'm here because I'm magic. I found some
Then
magic.
you would have been fine. You would have been fine. The falls have magic water in them, and that's why I'm here.
Literally, that explanation would go a long way to me.
I can't. I gotta go.
So you're the type of person who likes everything laid out, Dave, and just
That or even if it was foreshadowed and implied that like time didn't pass the same in Paradise Falls, or literally wonderful things could happen to animals in general in Paradise Falls, and the dogs can talk because of that. Or
it is crazy to me the only animal in Paradise Falls they ever show is Kevin.
I mean, you hear other animal sounds, you just never see them. But I guess because that's not who the movie's about, and that's a waste of animation.
Yeah, any other models would be a ton of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work for no reason.
They already had to animate all those balloons.
And all those friggin' dogs.
The craziest thing is that they took off in like a New York City type thing, and he passed out during a storm, and they just woke up in South America.
Yeah, Russell was like, I got a GPS. Like they explained that so quickly. They're like,
how
my dad gave me
fast-
a GPS.
How fast would that have had to go flying to get to South America in a night?
I mean, how long is a flight to South America?
About 8 hours.
Okay, so double it.
Yeah.
That's probably how long it took.
So it's going 250 miles per hour.
Yeah. There's wind and shit. Sure.
Sure.
No, that's
I can
the
accept.
funniest.
Listen, I have no no issues with the house flying.
Magic.
I gotta
Dog
go.
owners, check. Big issue, talking dogs.
Oh my god.
So, all right, ultimate question, guys, because we've gone on long enough. Do we
Oh Lord.
do we think of our 100 bucket list movies? We only have 100 bucket list movies. Does Disney Pixar's Up belong on this poster?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Okay,
Yes.
moving
So-
on.
The whole 5 minutes beginning is emotionally moving the first
It's
time
like
you see it.
significantly longer than I thought it was actually. It's not even 5 minutes.
It's like 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
I say it belongs on this. It's one of the
I'm not even saying that. I just think as a whole it does.
I'm gonna swap it out.
As a kid's movie, I think it belongs here. It's still a movie.
I'm gonna
Dave
swap it
says-
out with another kids movie. I'm gonna.
Dave said, what kids movie, Dave?
I'm swapping it with Finding Nemo.
Okay.
No.
I mean, Finding Nemo is a better movie in my opinion,
Right.
but I
Right.
still really like this movie.
Finding Nemo
I
is a
have no
better
issues with it
movie,
being
but I'm
here.
more. Yeah, I was more emotionally moved at this one.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
I
Fight.
really liked this movie the second time around I watched it.
Yeah, watching this with audio description actually was like,
I think it's one of the
Changed
best
it.
movies we've watched so far.
Maybe I'll listen to it with AD. Sometimes I do that,
yeah, I do that too.
where I'll like play it on my phone and I'll just listen to it instead.
Yeah.
Does it have the AD on Disney Plus? Is that where you watched it?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, looking at the list, I'd say this is the upper tier of the movies we've watched so far.
I don't actually know if I disagree with that statement.
I would agree too.
I
We've watched some shitty movies.
yeah, like,
Dave's watched some
Blade
shitty
Runner.
movies, and he said, "Yeah, this
Watched some
belongs on the
shitty-ass
list."
and in comparison to the other movies we have watched so far, Up does meet some of this criteria better. Although, as I think about like Blade Runner, I probably would have swapped it out with like Logan's Run, or
But Dave's asked just this movie is like minus dog collars.
I love Doug. You know what the cutest little shorts? You know how Disney does those shorts?
Oh, the Doug shorts are good.
Dude, they're so good. Like the Doug, I think they're called Doug Days. They're so good. They're adorable.
I watched the bonus feature on the because I own it on iTunes, so I get the bonus features. There's a storyboard based kind of animation of other seniors in the same town as Frederickson who also decide that they don't want to go to the retirement home. So the guys go to the to pick up the people to take to the retirement homes, and they all take their houses in crazy ways out of the city.
That's so cute.
And it's terrible, but it's hysterical at the same time.
That's cute. I love that.
Is that a thing that happens in real life to where they can force you to go to a retirement home?
You can be forced. You can be signed in, but not by like the government, I don't think. Maybe.
Yeah, is that a thing the government
you
can do?
can be forced by like your family.
Yeah, but he doesn't have family.
I don't know. I think the government can. I don't know.
I think
guess
you have
they
to be deemed
they
a public.
accused him.
They deemed him a public menace.
Yeah, so they had to put him away somewhere.
Which even like the judge was like, I don't think this is true. Like, I'm sorry that I have to do this. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We all have the crazy old man. We all know this guy. We all had this neighbor as a kid. Like
Fredrickson.
Yeah.
I think your neighbor right next to you growing up was this guy.
That's funny. I had like a weird.
I
dude.
know that
He
guy.
wasn't old. He was like
I-
middle aged, and he was just fucking weird. Like his energy was weird. He used to do weird stuff. He's just a weird guy that you stay away from because you don't know what's gonna happen.
I'd say it was about 5 doors down, Jeff. But I won't say who it was. From my childhood house. I understand why you're saying who you're saying.
Yeah.
We're grown-ups now. I understand more. Anyway, I didn't actually look at what our next movie is.
Yeah.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Should we wait? Do we want to do a switcheroo so that we can do Rocky Horror in October or no?
No. Well, we
won't-
have to record it now so Dave can release it in October.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that actually it would
That makes
it's probably
sense.
going to go up at Halloween. Legitimately, like honestly, that's about where we are with episode releases. The
Dave
only,
just needs to put time enough to even edit it so that he could maybe have a time to release for.
I wish I could help you, Dave.
Yeah, we're part of me says move this show to audio only, and that would be very easy. Anyway, that being said, I say we do it. The only reason I would hesitate is if we could actually go see it, like in the way that it's supposed.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna drag Joe. He's gonna be so confused. It's gonna be great.
If you decide to do that, you let me know. I'll look at plane tickets. If it's reasonable, I'll come with you.
It's gonna be so. He's gonna not know what the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah, but that would be the fun way to go.
Yeah, I know.
I've never done that.
I've never gone, but I know what it is because I know people who have gone, and I've seen like.
Yeah, and they do it in Perks of Being a Wallflower and all sorts of stuff. Like,
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
it's a good movie. It's a better book.
Yeah, I read the
It was
book.
an okay movie.
I don't love that movie. I don't dislike it in any means. Though.
I don't think I watched. You know what? I never watched the movie because I read the book when I heard the movie was coming out. I was like, oh shit, I gotta read the book first.
Oh, you should.
And
watch
then I read
it,
the
Shai.
book, and then I never watched the movie.
Wow. What?
You should watch it, Shai. It's a good movie.
That's fun. Should. Wait, who has Rocky Horror?
That's a good question. Netflix had it for a
Someone
very
Google
long
it.
time.
I don't know.
My sister and I used to watch it randomly when we got bored.
Jeff's gonna find it right now.
Imagine the AD on Rocky Horror.
Oh my god, I'm curious.
That'd be the craziest AD I'd probably.
Honestly,
ever
I
listened
think
That'd
I
be
want.
so inappropriate.
I want it on. I want.
Like I said, I have it on for everything I watch, so you could imagine the things I've heard described.
I think my brain like literally tunes like visually, like I tune things out I don't want to see. Like I understand what's happening in Rocky Horror.
Yeah, me too. I do that too.
I don't think I
Not
need
for
to.
Rocky Horror, but for other things.
I don't think I need to see it all. Like other things in particular.
I don't nowhere. You can just have to write it somewhere if you want to rent it.
God damn it! I should probably just buy it.
I was gonna
love
say,
it.
Shai, don't you like this movie? I think I just buy it.
I should.
I
I
think
love
I-
this movie so.
I probably
Maybe I'll
own
buy
it.
it because I get paid on Friday. Maybe I'll buy it.
Oh man, don't spend all your paycheck in one place.
Yeah, not on iTunes movies.
Yeah, I only get paid $15 in 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn. Man, it really sucks to be a teacher in America.
Yeah,
That's how we end today's
sad.
show. We'll see you guys next time for
Bye.
Rocky Horror. I'm
Bye.
Dave. You can follow me. Tell you Dave. You can follow Shy at Not So Shy. That's Shy. It's Not So Shy. On TikTok, it's at Not So Shy with an X. That's Shy with an X, not so with an X.
And just remember, if you invent a dog collar that has dog speak, Dave won't believe you.
He won't believe you.
Follow Jeff at
Peace.
Jeffrey Daily or at
He
a
won't
big
believe
F and
you.
Jeff. Okay.
You have to tell him it was magic.
The Flick Network. We watch movies. We talk movies. Your online movie friends. The Flick Network.
The Flick Network is a production of the Snack Network, LLC.